welcome to the news. My name is Shalma Lawson. Life for pensioners in Zimbabwe is not easy. Crispin Tavora reports on their daily struggles.
Pensioners in Zimbabwe are struggling to survive as their monthly payouts from government are not enough to sustain them. Some are doing manual jobs to survive, while others are too frail to work and end up dying as paupers. Pensioners Union Trust of Zimbabwe, PUTZ Secretary General Bonwelo Madembo complained about the money pensioners are receiving.
So the pensioners, they did not have any group. So we thought it wise to make this organization so that we'll be speaking with one voice.
According to national statistics, there are 600 pensioners in Zimbabwe. The country's retirement age is 65 years, although some retire early on medical grounds. Some pensioners are receiving as little as $60 a month from the Social Security NASA, which is not enough to sustain them. The country's poverty bottom line is US $500.
But at the beginning, vachitora mari dzevanhu vaiti ivo mari idzi vari kutichengetera kuti at the end of the day tiregedze kuzoita vanhu vanozosafa, of which now they are causing suffering of the people. You can even see pensioner is getting $25. It's a pensioner, and that pensioner is a sick person as well.
Pane vamwe vekuti anogona kuti murume wake ndiye anga ari mushandi ndiye pension handiti otadza kuita sei ofaka obva atadza kufambira pension iyoyo. Dzimwe nguva munhu anenge achitya oshaya pekutangira, asi isisu tiripo pakubatsira vanhu vakaita seivavo mawidows. Kune maorphans again vanosiiva nemapensioners. Anogona kunge munhu asina kwaanokwanisa kuti atangire, anokwanisa kuuya kwatiri tomubatsira kuti vana vaende kuchikoro.
Efforts to get comment from NASA were fruitless. In a bid to alleviate the challenges faced by pensioners last year, government increased the minimum pension from $40 to $60, but amount remains as too low. Meanwhile, most nursing homes for the elderly are also facing critical financial challenges and are unable to meet the needs of the aged.
Munhu anonzi kana akabuda basa asati asvika at the age of 60 years hazvina basa kuti abuda ingava medical ingava kuti invalid onzi haakwanisi kuwana mari until asvitsa 60 years of age. Zvatiri kuti isusu hazvichaenderana nemazuva ano. Life expectancy yedu isusu yachinja. Saka instead yekuti munhu wacho dai vangomukakuretera mari iyoyo vamupa mari yake aishandise nguva ichiripo.
Reporting for ATV, I am Crispin Tavora, Harare, Zimbabwe.
Children living in the streets of Harare have found a better way to drown their sorrows and hunger. Robert Tafumane reports.
Unlike children of his age, 8-year-old Isaac Gonora, a son of a visually impaired man, has had to forego playing with friends after school to sing with his father. To earn a living, Isaac plays drums while his father plays guitar as they sing and entertain passerbys in Harare's busy central business districts. ATV visited the two to find out more. Gonora said he taught his son how to play drums when he was only 4 years old.
I think I'm only 4 years. Chicago Zvinezvi ane 8 years. Akutorova wasanga akutoridza naye. Tichitofamba watochiridza mustreet kudai. Asi chishuwo changu chachiri chekuda kuti tisagumira mustreet. Tiitewo tiwanewo instrument. Tiridzirewo munzvimbo dzakatambanuka vanhu vachibhadharawo.
The two have since recorded a 6-track album called Rwendo Rweupenyu. At times they get invitations to play at national events where they get to rub shoulders with the popular musicians. Daniel explains the meaning of some of the songs on their album, which chronicles their journey so far.
Zita album rinonzi Rwendo rwoupenyu. Track yekutanga inonzi Madzvara ruvengo. Kureva mukati memhuri vabereki kuti vasasarudza vana. Uyu handimudi uyu handomuda. Saka ndozvandakati mukadaro Madzvara ruvengo. Pozouya track number 2 inonzi ndio Rwendo rwoupenyu yacho iyoyo. Kureva mararamiro yatinoita kwatakabva neupenyu tichiita zvekuridza izvi. Saka ndakaita inonzi Rwendo rwoupenyu. Track number 3 inonzi Ndasurora senjiva yechirwa manyana. Kureva izvo kuti kuzvarwa kwatakaitwa takazvarwa tiri vatatu. Saka baba ndo vakatanga kufa neusara ndando.
Daniel is one of many visually impaired people who have taken to singing in the streets to earn a living in the absence of social welfare support. The late Paul Matavire, popularly known as Dr. Love, who was also visually impaired, also built a successful career in music in the 80s and 90s. Who knows, one day Daniel may become another Paul Matavire. Robert Akumani reporting for ATV in Harare, Zimbabwe.
The grave of Zimbabwe's former colonial master, Cecil John Rhodes, has been vandalized. Crispin Tavura gives us more on the story.
The grave of Zimbabwe's former colonial master Cecil John Rhodes, which lies within the Malindazimi shrine in the Matopos Hills, has been vandalized. The grave, which is a national monument in the Matopos National Park, now bears some unauthorized inscriptions. It could, however, not be established who vandalized the grave and the motive behind it. National Museums and Monuments of Zimbabwe Director Godfrey Mahachi confirmed the incident.
We will not deploy security persons for purposes of providing bodyguards to the remains of Cecil John Rhodes. We don't think that is necessary. We don't think people will probably go out of their way to actually do something that's illegal.
Rhodes was born on 5 July 1853 in England and died in 1902. He is remembered for leading a pioneer column that led to the occupation of the then Rhodesia by the British. Rhodes, who was highly ambitious and once dreamed of establishing a railway line linking Cape to Cairo. British colonial occupation of Rhodesia ended on April 18 when Zimbabwe gained its independence. Over a century after his death, some sections of Zimbabwe society want his remains removed from Matopos and repatriated to England.
I would have expected the traditional leadership, of Zimbabwe or of the Matabeleland area in which the remains lie, to be in the forefront of the calls for such removal. That has not happened. The traditional leadership, I think, has accepted the fact that it's part of our history.
Zimbabweans interviewed both on and off camera expressed mixed feelings.
Nekuti muhistory chaimo nevana vedu vanenge takazvara nevana vachazvarwawo vanofanira kuti varamba vachiverenga kuti vanhu vakanga vakapamba nyika ino vachiratidzwa neguva racho vachiriona. Zvakangofanana nokuti kana tikati guva raRhodes ngaribviswe, saka nemanewspaper ese ari muarchives akanga achiprintwa nguva yehondo toti ngaabviswe araswe.
What do we gain by just removing the grave? There's nothing that we gain. And there's nothing that we lose even if we leave it there. So it's not a good idea to remove the grave of Rhodes.
And despite all the nationalistic sentiments, Rhodes' grave still attracts thousands of tourists, bringing revenue to the country. His legacy is part of the country's history. Reporting for ATV, I am Crispin Tavura, Matopos Hills.
Thank you for joining us. Good evening.